Derrick Rose civil trial. Not convicted, but controversy never faded. In 2016, Derrick Rose faced a civil lawsuit for alleged sexual assault. The trial was graphic, disturbing. He admitted to group sex, but claimed it was consensual. The jury found him not liable, but text messages, timeline gaps, and the victim's story raised questions. Rose returned to the court. Fans cheered. Endorsements held. But for many, his legacy split that day. Not guilty wasn't the same as innocent. The NBA moved on. Media coverage faded. But every MVP graphic, every comeback story carries a footnote. A reminder that some legacies aren't destroyed by injuries, but by what's whispered after. The Derrick Coleman bankruptcy. $91 million gone. Derrick Coleman was once the number one pick, a 20-10 machine. By the end of his career, he earned over $91 million. A decade later, bankrupt. He filed in 2010 with just $1 million in assets and over $4 million in debt. Poor investments, failed business ventures, lavish spending, a classic cautionary tale. The NBA didn't intervene. Financial advisors didn't help. Coleman went from elite talent to financial warning sign. He wasn't the only one, but his fall was one of the steepest. A reminder that in the NBA, your stat line fades fast, but your bank balance fades faster. Daryl Morey's China tweet. A single tweet cost the league billions. In October 2019, Rockets GM Daryl Morey tweeted, "Fight for freedom. Stand with Hong Kong 7 words." Instantly, China blacked out NBA broadcasts. Sponsors cut ties. The league lost hundreds of millions, possibly billions. Morey deleted the tweet, but the damage was done. Adam Silver defended his right to free speech, carefully. LeBron criticized him for being misinformed. Critics accused the NBA of bowing to authoritarian pressure. The incident exposed the league's biggest conflict: global profits versus American values. One tweet proved how fragile that balance is. Basketball is global. So is censorship. And silence can be expensive. Vaccine rules in Toronto versus US. 2 countries, 2 rules, no consistency. During the 2021-22 season, unvaccinated NBA players couldn't enter Canada, but they could play US home games. Kyrie Irving was banned from Barclays Center, but could suit up in MSG. Opposing players were held to different standards than local stars. Toronto's strict laws meant entire teams had to adjust, but enforcement? Inconsistent. Some players found loopholes. Others stayed silent. The NBA tried to navigate public health, politics, and optics, but ended up in contradiction. It wasn't about health alone. It was about headlines, markets, and appearances. Fans were confused. Players were frustrated, and fairness was nowhere on the schedule. The Phantom Foul versus the Kings, 2002, the game many still call rigged. Game 6, 2002, Western Conference Finals, Lakers versus Kings. The Kings were up 3-2, then came the whistles. 27 free throws for the Lakers in the fourth quarter alone. Ticky-tack calls, missed travels, phantom fouls. The Kings lost. Game 7 went to overtime. The Lakers advanced. Years later, Tim Donaghy, yes, that ref, alleged that the game was manipulated by officials to force a Game 7. The NBA denied it, but the footage remains. So does the anger. Sacramento never recovered. Fans still chant rigged. It wasn't just a bad call. It was the moment faith cracked and never fully healed. Mark Cuban's tanking admission said the quiet part loud. Most teams tank quietly. Mark Cuban said it out loud. In 2018, he told players, "Losing is our best option." The NBA fined him $600,000 for the comment. Later, the Mavericks sat healthy starters in crucial games. In 2023, with playoff hopes still alive, they pulled the plug. The league launched another investigation. Cuban defended it as strategic. Fans called it sabotage. The NBA profits on competition, but can't stop teams from gaming the draft system. Cuban didn't invent tanking. He just made it impossible to ignore. When the owner admits it, the illusion breaks. So does the trust. Ref bias in modern betting era. Legal gambling, and the refs still hold power. Sports betting is now legal in most U.S. states. NBA fans can place bets on player stats, scores, even next plays. But one thing hasn't changed. Referees still control the flow. One whistle shifts outcomes. One missed call swings the line. In a league where the Donaghy scandal still casts a shadow, modern bettors watch refs closer than players. Slow motion replays fuel conspiracy. Missed travel, rigged. Late call, fixed. The NBA claims transparency. Releases, last 2-minute reports. But trust is fragile. With billions now tied to gambling, every whistle sounds like money, and every miss like manipulation. NBA censorship on Uyghur genocide. A silence louder than any anthem. In Xinjiang, China, over 1 million Uyghur Muslims face forced labor, surveillance, and cultural erasure. The world called it genocide. The NBA said nothing. While brands pulled out of the region, the league kept silent. Players who spoke up, like Enes Kanter Freedom, were effectively blacklisted. He accused the NBA of selling shoes over souls. China remains a major market. Billions in revenue, broadcasting, and endorsements depend on staying quiet. Human rights groups protested. The league dodged. They defended player expression while enforcing corporate silence. The message was clear: speak up, unless it costs the bottom line. Then silence becomes policy. Chris Bosh's medical dispute with the league. Blood clots ended his career, or did the NBA? Chris Bosh was still an all-star when doctors found blood clots in his lungs. He missed the 2016 playoffs, tried to return, and failed a team physical. The Heat refused to clear him. Bosh insisted he could play, even consulted independent doctors, but the league sided with Miami. His contract was wiped from the books via medical exemption. No trade, no comeback, just silence. Bosh claimed he was pushed out. The NBA called it precaution. He never officially retired. He was forced to stop. For a Hall of Famer, the ending felt less like closure and more like exile. Myers-Leonard's slur incident. One word, no comeback. In March 2021, Myers-Leonard was live on Twitch. Casual stream. Then, a pause. He muttered an anti-Semitic slur. The fallout was immediate. The Heat fined and suspended him. Sponsors cut ties. He apologized, claimed ignorance, but the damage was done. Traded, waived, out of the league. Even his apology drew criticism. The NBA issued statements, but Leonard vanished from rosters. He attempted a comeback in 2023, played a few games, then disappeared again. In a league pushing diversity and inclusion, one word erased a career. Not from memory, but from the floor. In this era, ignorance isn't an excuse. It's a sentence. Donald Sterling's plantation history. One leak ended it. His past should have. Donald Sterling was banned for a racist rant in 2014, but the signs were always there. In the 2000s, he paid millions in housing discrimination settlements, accused of refusing to rent to Black and Hispanic tenants. Elgin Baylor sued him for racial bias in the Clippers front office. He made grotesque comments in depositions. The league looked away. Money kept flowing. Then came the TMZ leak. Public outrage finally forced action. Adam Silver banned him for life. But it wasn't justice. It was PR cleanup. The NBA didn't punish Sterling for who he was, only for getting caught on tape. Kevin Durant's burner accounts, MVP, hiding behind fake names. Kevin Durant was a finals MVP, a global icon, and secretly defending himself on Twitter using burner accounts. In 2017, he slipped up, responded in third person from his main account, criticizing former teammates and coaches. Fans realized the truth. KD had fake profiles to argue online. He admitted it. called it a mistake, but the damage stuck. Media clowned him. Teammates stayed silent. It revealed more than insecurity, it revealed obsession. A superstar with rabbit ears. The league moved on, but the perception changed. Durant wasn't just elite, he was online, and maybe a little too human for comfort.